Buying a new construction home is a completely different process than buying a resale home, and in this video I'll be sharing with you everything that you need to know about buying a new construction home. Make sure you stay with me to the end of this video because I'll be sharing with you some mistakes I've seen people make, and I want you to be aware of those issues so you can prevent them before you buy your new construction home. Living in a city like Las Vegas is a luxury because you get to live in a city that is forever growing and expanding. There's new construction homes on nearly every side of town, and during the buying process of a new construction home, you get to tour beautiful model homes that are highly upgraded in design. These upgraded designs can include anything from flooring, kitchen, backyard, and bathrooms. The upgraded models are intended to give you an idea of all the different possibilities that you can have when you build your new home. Like I mentioned to you earlier, the process of buying a new construction home is completely different than buying a resale home. But one thing I can guarantee that is the same is having a great realtor to represent you. There's simply no way you should be buying a new construction home without having an agent by your side who represents your best interests as a buyer. It can be pretty intimidating to walk into a new home sales office and multiple agents are rushing to talk to you. It's honestly a mistake to go without an agent because if you try to bring on an agent later in the process that was not with you on your first visit, they can't help you. Your first initial visit to the builder, you need to be registered in their system as having an agent to represent you. And having an agent to represent you is free. It's an advantage to you as a buyer having an agent because you're going to lean on them for their expertise and knowledge from start to finish. And think about it for a second. Who do you think the sales agent is working in the best interest for? Always remember, these sales agents represent the builder, not the buyer. The builder is always going to be worried about their bottom line, whereas having an agent, they're always going to be worried about getting you the best possible deal for your home. If you're interested in a new build home, you always want to have your agent set an appointment before visiting. But before you even tour a single model home, you need to have your realtor ask the sales agent the following questions. Do you have any home lots available? You don't want to waste your time looking at model homes if there's no lots available to buy. Next, your agent should be asking how much are lot premiums. In a new development community, each lot is going to have a different price. For example, a corner lot could be priced at, let's say, $20,000, but another lot in that same community could be priced at $10,000. These home lots vary and you want to be aware of their price point. The next question is, what incentives are available if you purchase with an in-house lender? It's typically standard for builders to offer special incentives if you use their in-house mortgage lender. I've seen incentives like percentages towards closing costs, rate buy downs, or even lower price of the home. The reason why builders encourage you to use their in-house lender is because they work together. You using them helps them both. And even though this is the case, you shouldn't be afraid to use the in-house lender because a 3% incentive on closing costs on a $500,000 home can get you $15,000 in free money. It really just depends on exactly what they're offering. Your agent should also be asking questions about HOA and SIDs and LIDs. SID stands for Special Improvement District and LID stands for Local Improvement District. These are fees the builder charges homebuyers when they build on underdeveloped land and the city has to come out and set up utilities. The builder has the option to pay for these fees up front or charge each new homeowner. And as I mentioned to you earlier, the builder is worried about their bottom line, so they're not going to cover those fees when they know that they can charge you for it. Before I continue, I want to share with you all a real estate hack that you can use when you're buying new construction homes. New development homes are built in phases, and each phase, the price of the home increases. You can gain a good amount of equity in your home by simply buying in phase 1. Let's say you bought a new development home in phase 1 for $500,000, and then another person bought that same exact home, but in phase 4 for $550,000. You just gained $50,000 in equity by being a part of phase 1. And if you're smart about it, you can take your equity gains and go buy another new build home in phase 1 in another community. Once you have scheduled an appointment through your realtor with the new home builder and seen all the different models, you can now choose which floor plan you want to build. At this point, you'll be signing the builder purchase agreement and being in contract. In Las Vegas, you have several new home builders that you can choose from. You can choose anyone from Toll Brothers, Blue Heron, Richmond American, Beazer, and D.R. Horton, to name a few. Something to always remember when you're looking at a purchase agreement is what is the base price of the home and what are considered upgrades. There's typically going to be structural as well as design upgrades that you need to be aware of. You're always going to sign builder-specific contracts when you're buying a new build home. And just like when you get under contract with a resale home, when you get under contract with a new build home, you still have to submit earnest money deposit. Something that people don't know about new construction homes is you could buy a new build home that is already built and move-in ready. You don't always have to buy from scratch and build on a dirt lot. There's 6 different phases when you buy a new construction home, and each phase is just a new milestone getting you closer to that new home. The first phase of buying a new build home is foundation. This is when the builder is going to pour a concrete slab for the foundation of the home. This is a critical point in the process of building your new home because without a great foundation, your home is not going to survive. The next phase is going to be the framing of your home. This is going to be the first visual representation of what your home is going to look like. In this phase, the walls, the roof structure, and the roof shingles are installed. The window and the door units are also installed during this phase. Once the framing phase is completed, you're going to move into the installation phase of your essential interior pieces. This is going to include your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC system. This phase happens before the installation and the drywall is completed. Because the installation phase deals with so much of your interior working parts, you're not going to see much of a difference between installation and the framing phase. The next phase is going to be your drywall and exterior finishes. At this phase, your home really starts to take shape as the drywall is hung and the outdoor stucco is done. Once these items are completed, you get to really see how beautiful your home is, and then you move into the phase of your interior finishes. Now you're going to see things get completed like your bathroom fixtures, your kitchen, your countertops, and your cabinets. The final phase of this process is going to be your flooring, your appliances, and of course paint. Something that I didn't mention throughout this entire process is the backyard, and reason being is some builders do not provide you a finished backyard. In fact, many of them will leave you with just dirt in the backyard and you're expected to finish that after closing. Some HOAs will even give you a deadline of 6 months to finish your backyard. Once you reach the final phase of building your new home, you get to my personal favorite part of the process. My favorite part of the process is called the blue tape walk. This is one of your final walkthroughs where you're going to take blue painter's tape and you're going to walk around the entire home and find any imperfections or impurities that you see, and you're going to mark it with the blue tape. This can be anything from cracks, scratches, dents, anything that you can find, you're going to mark it with a blue piece of tape. You should really leave this blue tape walk with blue tape all over the house, and that's going to ensure that you pay very close attention to detail. On closing day, you're going to have another final walkthrough where you're going to get to go back in the house and go through it again to see if all the different things that you put blue tape on were actually repaired. This is also the point where you finally get keys to your new home. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video so far. And if you're unfamiliar with who I am, my name is Chris Brown. I'm a realtor with Simply Vegas. And just like you, I wanted to move to a new city that made sense not only for my business, but also for my lifestyle. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and click the bell so you don't miss any new videos and you always know what's going on here in Las Vegas. The new construction process is always changing, and we saw so much during the pandemic. I remember during the last 2 years how terrible of an experience it was, not only for realtors like myself, but also people like you who are interested in buying a new construction home. When I was helping my best friend from college and his wife buy a new build home, we dealt with an incredible amount of nonsense. Home builders had wait lists for homes, they were doing raffles for homes, and some of them didn't even call you back. We found a KB model home that we thought was going to be the one, but boy were we wrong. When we found the home that we wanted, we ended up putting our name on the wait list, and they invited us to a raffle of the next set of homes. The raffle for the new set of homes was a Zoom call that they told us that we cannot be late to. Unfortunately, they were late. And on top of them being late, they waited for other people who were about 15 minutes late. As you can imagine, people like myself and my clients who were on time were very frustrated at the beginning of the raffle, and we didn't want to continue, but we wanted to just to see what happens. And when I tell you guys this was completely unorganized, how they were choosing people who won the raffle, they were picking names out of construction hat. I don't exactly feel like that's a fair way to choose someone's destiny on buying their dream home, is by picking names out of a construction hat. So with that being said, my clients and I decided we were going to look elsewhere for a new build home. Buying a new build home today is completely different than that experience that I had in the past 2 years, because now I can go into a new build office with confidence and know that I can actually get a home that they are building. In today's market, home builders are in a much better position to support buyer demand. Now, obviously, there's still horror stories about buyer experiences when it comes to buying new construction homes. Some horror stories I've heard of are builders cutting corners when it comes to the home as well as quality of their materials. Now, I personally haven't experienced that with my clients, but I'm not going to sit here and say it hasn't happened. Now, this is a perfect example on why you need to have a realtor on your side throughout the entire process, because they're going to be the ones who are going to help you from start to finish. Buying a new build home can be a frustrating experience if you don't manage patience. You especially need to have patience when it comes to the timeline and completion. In today's market, you can expect builders can take anywhere from 8 to 12 months, and some of the luxury builders can take up to 2 years. While under contract to buy a new build home, you need to be mindful that there's probably going to be a delay somewhere. Whether it's an appliance, a countertop, or some sort of material, there's always going to be a delay. I recently had a client that moved into their new build home, and they had to wait 3 months for the stove that they ordered, as well as another 7 months for the refrigerator that they ordered. Now, if that doesn't test your patience, I don't know what else will. You also need to maintain patience if there's a delay on when you can move in. Let's say, for example, you're selling your California home and buying a new build home in Vegas. You need to be thinking about putting together a contingency plan just in case there's a delay on when you move. In my opinion, I think the best option would be getting a short-term rental in Henderson. This gives you the ability to feel somewhat like at home instead of living out of a suitcase at a hotel. Having flexibility not only in your budget, but also your timeline allows you to have more options when you're moving. I mentioned to you earlier about how modern model homes are highly upgraded and they only serve as a purpose to give you an idea of all the possibilities that you can have if you buy a new build home. When you get under contract to buy a new build home, it can be overwhelming when it comes to the design of the home. Most home builders will send you to their design studio where you can select all of your options and upgrade. This can be anything from the flooring to the appliances to the design of the kitchen. But I will warn you, going to the design studio is going to make you feel like a kid at a candy store. Once it's scheduled, it's set for about 2 hours, but in my experience, I've seen buyers going there for as long as 4 hours. You'll sit there and you'll go back and forth if you're buying with someone else on all the different options and designs because you have two particular different tastes. Having so many different options at the design studio is what can make this overwhelming. Your job at the design studio is to decide what standard features can you accept at your home and what things do you want to upgrade. You also get to see the pricing so you can see what things will cost if you did it with the builder, and then you can compare it on if you did it on your own. So considering pricing is something that you need to be aware of, because some things that the builder can offer to do for you in the design phase are some things that you know that you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and do it yourself. So if you're a handyman, it's very smart to be aware of the pricing and the different things that you can do in-house without paying the builder prices. One thing I do recommend having the builder do is flooring, because that's a big project, and the last thing that you want to do is move into a new home only to move everything out the way to redo the floors. And here's a tip for buyers buying a new construction home. Think about if you plan on ever moving from that home. Some of you may, some of you may not. But if you do, think about what the resale value of your home would be if you did something that was unique to only you. When you eventually become a seller and you think about selling your home, you don't want to struggle with that sale because you decided to paint everything pink. Now, pink may be something that you love and you like, but not every buyer coming to buy your home is going to be a fan of a whole pink house. So when you're buying your new home and you're thinking about upgrades, think from a seller's perspective. You want to make sure that when you make these upgrades and changes to your home that are unique to you, you're not hurting yourself in the long run when you want to sell it again to another buyer. And since we're talking about sellers, something that sellers need to be aware of are capital gains taxes. If you lived in your primary home for over 2 years and you're thinking about selling, you won't pay taxes up to $250,000 if you're single and $500,000 if you're married. If you're enjoying this video about buying a new construction home and you're ready to start your search soon, leave me a comment below, send me a text, or send me an email and we'll get you ready. You can even follow me on Instagram and TikTok at cb.lasvegas. Now let's go over what's currently going on in the Las Vegas Valley when it comes to new construction homes. And if you look at this map of Henderson, you can see communities like Inspirada, Southern Highlands, and Cadence. My favorite community to sell right now is in the Northwest called Sky Canyon. This community is just far enough from the strip for peace and quiet, but also close enough to get there in 20 minutes. And if you like the southwest part of Las Vegas, you can find new home communities in the Blue Diamond area. As far as luxury new home builders, you have areas like Mesa Ridge, Lake Las Vegas, and Ascaya. My favorite luxury new home community right now is Ascaya. The homes in this community are fully custom and the lots start at $1 million. What I like about Ascaya the most is how much control you have over the design process. You get to choose your own builder as well as architect. This is something that you don't see with most builders because they always want you to use their designers and architects. Ascaya has a brand new $5 million community park as well as a luxury clubhouse with an Olympic style pool, walking trails, as well as a half-court basketball hoop. There's so many different parts of Ascaya that I really love, and if it's in your budget, you'll love it too. If you're getting any value from this video about buying new construction homes, comment the word value below. There's just so much to understand when it comes to buying a new construction home. There can be advantages as well as disadvantages, but it really comes down to what makes sense for you. A lot of these new build homes have a lot of upgraded technology that will make it expensive or hard to do in a resale home. Although some builders only have standard packages, there are builders that have smart home options. Another advantage is being able to customize your home exactly how you like it. There's never going to be a need for remodeling if you build your home exactly how you want it from the beginning. New construction homes also offer energy efficient features. This can include LED lights, upgraded HVAC systems, and dual pan windows. I think the best advantage of new construction homes are extended warranties. When buying new, you get an extended warranty for a year. In some cases, you can get appliances as well as other systems covered for up to 2 years. And most builders offer a 7 to 10 year structural warranty. This advantage gives you peace of mind even if something breaks after you move in. I remember when I purchased my first home brand new with Beezer Homes. The main reason I decided to go this route is because I felt at ease knowing everything was brand new. It also made it easier to rent out because what tenant wouldn't be excited about renting a brand new home? For more videos about Las Vegas real estate, check out one of the other videos on the screen. I appreciate you all watching. I'll see you on the next one.